had a thought because you're actually having success in your bulk and I'm like not having success in my lean, but I think it'd be fun if we weighed the same total amount throughout the whole process.
Okay,
Do you know what I mean? So whatever weight
we started off at
take it off me and put it on you.
So as you go down and I go up the exact same amount.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Right now I'm up.
You're up 4, right?
No, I started off at 167.
What?
But I was underweight then. So I'm at 180.8 right now.
Whoa. Since we started this?
Yeah.
You're up 14 pounds of pure muscle.
Not pure muscle.
And I'm down 4 fucking cunt hairs of a pound. 4 measly shitty pounds that could be a giant shit.
But you would be down further had you not had derailment. So we had Final Four action or Sweet 16, whatever the fuck.
That was tough.
That was tough, and that was exactly the wrong moment. But then we got back on track.
Yeah. Were we in here since then?
Since Princeton got to the Sweet 16?
We were, right?
Who fucking knows?
One. Yeah.
I think we were. We did like a mysterious double ep.
Oh, yeah.
where you somehow saw into the future.
Oh, yeah. I was like, our guest is about to be sick. Yeah, we did do one because I left here to go fly to Louisville. So,
Yes.
So then I landed, and we'll get back to your bulk because I promise. I'm trying to ask people about themselves. It's
you got a lot going on. You're a pretty cool guy.
Thank you. But I do that thing where I go, and how's work for you? And then in my head I go, good job. Wow, look at you.
And do you actually listen when they're saying not a chance,
Don't
right?
care at all. So anyway, landed back from the greatest 2 weeks of my life, Sweet 16.
And you did. Well, let's also give you credit there. So you had numerous opportunities to fall down, horrible drunk, and you had like a night or two of that. But you, for the most part, were pacing yourself with booze, which we can be very proud of.
I don't think I got horribly. Yeah, I think I.
There was one night where you said that you hated yourself and all that shit. But like, otherwise, you just like sipped beers, drank waters, and then hung out, played poker. That was good. True.
I did the responsible thing and drove 30 miles to a casino. Which, by the way, somebody saw me and was like, saw the saddest thing. Noah Savage alone at a poker table. Pathetic. And in my head, I was like, this is the happiest I've ever been. Like, I love this. So, people put their own shit on you. But so I land on Saturday, come back Sunday. My father-in-law is all confused. He thinks it's Sunday morning. It's a radio show. He comes downstairs on Saturday night and is like, hey, it's Sunday morning. Everybody's like, what are you talking about? Won't go to the hospital. Does his radio show. It's like he's really talking in circles. He's really confused.
On Saturday night or you?
No, Sunday morning. He waits, goes back to bed. He does the show from home. And then he goes to the hospital Sunday, and they're like, you have a massive brain tumor.
Whoa.
And that week was in the hospital, and it went from like, here's a glioblastoma, which is an incurable brain cancer, to it's really big, to we can't operate on it, to even give you like another 6 months. And then 2 weeks to the day, Monday morning, he died. Like he went from like talking normal, Sunday confused, still talking but confused, sat down in a chair, couldn't talk, like died somewhat peacefully. And honestly, like it's better that it was fast and it wasn't 6 months of that awful confusion. But anyway, that'll kill your diet, real quick.
Fuck, dude.
And I did a podcast with him, and he was kind of my broadcasting coach, and I was really close to him.
He was a really good guy to you.
Wonderful person, and he's a little bit of a public figure because he's on the Fan. So like the Twitter has just been blowing up with like stories about how great he is, and it's all true. Like I'm still in shock. Like I'm actually reading those tweets and being like, okay, this is like a Twilight Zone episode. Like I felt sad when I first got the diagnosis 2 weeks ago, but since he's died, I've been like, why aren't I like weeping openly?
That doesn't feel real yet.
Truly numb.
Yeah.
I'm like,
well, especially when it happens that abruptly, it fucking doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
And you guys haven't had the funeral yet.
No, and he wanted like a memorial, tell funny stories. Like he was like explicitly in his will, like no funeral, get together, tell funny stories. Are you Catholic?
No.
What are you, some fucking Jew?
United
What's your
Methodist.
problem? Anybody in here? No, we got some nice Italians, but
You went from real sad and real nice to this guy to all of a sudden fucking to the real
also
Noah.
like look at him. If he was a Jew, it'd be real. It'd be tough. But you know the way the Catholics do it, and I'm not Catholic, but I'm. You know, I don't know. I feel like the people who have
knows
died.
what you are.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. So I have actually my grandfather died on my side, my real dad's side. That's Quaker. So what they do is they all
What the
sit.
fuck?
Yeah, I know. I contain multitudes, but what they do is you sit in a fucking meeting house, and then they go, anybody who the spirit moves may talk. So what happens is that anybody who likes talking talks. So not the guy's best friend or wife or whatever, and like just whoever stands up. Hey, I don't really know. You know, and this is my grandfather who is also Chinese, and they were like, I don't really know Ed Pan, but I always saw him smiling there. And it was like these awful, like mini eulogies. So my point is that I actually do like the like death immediately into like a several day wake into a funeral because like there's some finality. And right now I'm in this phase of like,
It's a thousands of years old tradition for a fucking reason. Like it helps with closure because it never feels real immediately. I prefer open casket. Like I like to see. It fucking sucks, but it did like there's no question in my mind. The fucking crematory or the cremations that I've been to, I'm just like, I'm not feeling it. I might get cremated myself because I think it's kind of a waste, but it definitely helps me to see because I can be like, oh yeah, you're fucking dead.
I agree with that. I had a classmate die this fall, big, you know, Staten Island Catholic. And it's like, same thing. Like I knew him. I was friends with him in school. I wasn't like really that type in the last 10 years, but I went. And as soon as I walked in the church, I just started weeping. And there was all these people that were saying hi to me. And I was like, I literally like was like, cannot talk yet. But it's kind of where I'm at. It's like a weird, like,
it's a weird zone. You're not out of it yet.
Yeah. And I don't think like, you know, he used to text me every single game during the game, like encouraging texts as the game, like as if he was producing the game. Bring your voice up. Okay, great story. Like, so I think that maybe when I do a game, I'm going to be like, whoa. I'm sure before then too, but like, what the fuck, man? This is a crazy.
It's crazy.
When we started this journey to me lose 25 pounds. So like to bring it back to like this stuff, the first reaction is, well, fuck, why wouldn't I eat the pudding if I'm going to get a brain tumor? Why won't I crush the beers? You only live once. But then the flip side of that is like, I want to feel good if I'm only going to live once.
Yeah. And you want to show Henry how to live right.
Yes.
Like it's not about not eating fucking pudding, man. Eat pudding, but eat pudding intentionally. Eating like a fucking fat slob and feel it like hating yourself. That's what we don't want.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We like enjoying pudding. We like a beer from time to time, but we don't like being a fucking fat, miserable piece of shit. Yeah. We've both been there, and we're not gonna fucking do it, man. Yeah. We're gonna live hard and live well for fucking Rick. Shout out Rick.
Yeah, and he actually was. You know, like throughout his life, he was
an athlete.
Yeah, he's a minor league baseball player, and then, you know, he had periods where he got bigger and he got smaller. And actually, the last year, he lost a ton of weight, like maybe because he had cancer in his brain, but also he would walk like 7 miles. He'd do his little. We'd make fun of him. He'd do like old school calisthenics, where he's like doing this. And we're like, it was like the Kardashians, like that type of like. But yeah, man. I kind of like had a moment where I was like, well, fuck, this project is dead because I'm just gonna like fall off. And then I was like, you know what? Why not just like keep going?
Yeah, here's my idea. I will never quit you unless you quit me.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you.
So we'll go all the way forever. I can't.
Thank you.
I can't quit. No, I mean we're gonna be friends for life, but I can't quit as his coach.
Well. We got a couple of comedians obviously in the house, our producer and now another producer. But there was another thing about the funeral idea that I want to bring up, which is that like there's something nice about everybody coming together, and nobody at a funeral. This used to be a bit I would do is funerals versus weddings. Nobody at a funeral is like, cash bar. You know, like nobody's like being a piece of shit. They're just like, oh man, what do you need? There's like a dropping of all the bullshit simultaneously. So
wedding is like putting up all the bullshit, you know, like, and funeral is tearing it all down. Yeah,
this is the signature cocktail. Like, wow. And then you know, like that's what the last 2 weeks since he got sick has just been like people being great and being like,
whatever you need.
What do you need? What do you need? What do you need? And also with that, sending a shitload of food.
Yeah.
And some of it I've just been hammering down. If it's like I came back from the hospital and Alyssa's new job had sent her Magnolia Bakery
Fuck.
banana pudding. Have you had
Fuck.
it? It's the best thing.
Anything
Right?
banana
It's-
pudding is I am
it's
in.
banging.
Yeah.
The
The worst
densest-
banana pudding on earth is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this one is they're like, don't freeze this, refrigerate it, after 2 hours. Like eat this now. It's basically fresh, and they sent her like a crate of it, and I was like,
It's like 700 calories a pop, and they're all the bad
I banged
guys.
it down. I was like, I'm doing it. Like I was at the hospital overnight. Like fuck this, I ate it. So that being said, I'm 283. I'm only down 4 pounds in this
All right.
whole effing thing.
It's all right.
But I had a good week this week. So I feel like next week I'm gonna be like under the 280 level.
Yeah.
And I think the next plateau we got to hit is 275 for me and 285 for you. 185.
285. God damn.
I can't believe I'm 100 pounds bigger than you, by the way. I always am like, yeah, you're like what, 281 now? Oh, 181. Oops.
I want to get to 2. I want to be 200. You got to be 2 something to do something.
Really?
I don't know. I think it'd be fun.
You got to lift like that dude with the handlebar mustache.
Fucking Savage Army guy. I can
Put
do
5
that shit.
plates on and you deadlift. And
You
you
just put
squat
5 more pounds. 5 by 5.
5 by 5.
I think here's the deal. Life is gonna throw shit at us. Of course.
Yeah.
It's never going to. You're about to have a second. Can I say that?
Yeah.
You're gonna have a second kid. Noah's gonna have a daughter. That's gonna be fucking rough.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're not gonna sleep. It's gonna be. There's gonna be food again. It's gonna be fucking great and also terrible at the same time. It's gonna
Yeah.
take a piece out of you. What we're here to do is, I don't give a shit if you don't hit your weight by Memorial Day or whatever we said. Who cares?
Yeah.
But over time, and what I've noticed within myself is like, if you just consistency over time ingrain these habits, we've already seen some things like you regret drinking too much. Okay, you go to poker. Over time, we're chipping away at this thing, and I swear to God, by next year, you will be 50 pounds down.
And also, well, thank you. But since the diagnosis of brain tumor, I had maybe 1 glass of wine, and it's like it would have been such a like
Makes you treasure your brain
drink,
and your
you know,
awareness.
like Mad Men, like bad thing, drink.
Yeah.
Good thing, drink. Like get the So I just didn't feel like it. It was like I don't feel like being drunk. Alyssa can't drink. I just didn't, and like that was. Like obviously that's beside the point of what happened, but like that's kind of like crazy to me.
He's here.
What's going on? Oh, he's here. All right. Well, point is, you look at quick bulk while we let him up. Why do I have your phone? What am I
don't
supposed
know.
to do?
I was just showing you that he's here.
Okay.
I don't know. He says, "Think I'm here."
Got up to 6th floor. All right. So we're gonna get him, and
Let's get
we'll
it.
introduce our guest. Yeah, let's record while he gets him, and we'll just do a little bit more about your bulk. So, what's working? What's not working for you?
I feel like I've tried to do a lean bulk. It's been a little bit dirty, but I started this journey, I believe. So my skinniest I was 167, but when we started this pod I was probably 170. Now I'm at 180.8.
Damn.
Um,
And you haven't lost any definition.
I think I've lost a little bit.
Well, like not you have, but it's like you don't have a belly. You still have a 6-pack, but it was sicker before. You're right.
It was
You lost 3% of Tom. Were you expecting this to be what we do here? Yeah, I know. Yeah, I kill the better abs than I've ever had in my life, and I go, yeah, it's a little.
It's not perfect though.
You have big abs too.
Yeah, they're
When
juicy.
I had abs, they were surprisingly small.
Well, you
What's
know
up with
how
that?
You get it is you got to do the fucking leg chair races.
The hell is that?
What's up?
Oh
bro?
my God!
What's up, dude? I'm Will. Nice to meet you.
Do you know what this is? Ow! Son of a bitch. Ow.
You can lower it. You can lower
No, I just like hit the jack into my knee bone.
I've got to sit facing him and like this, so don't.
Yeah. So, because the audience already knows, we'll just explain this like off wax. So we've both been fat as fuck or in good shape in our life, and Will obviously is in great shape now. So he's basically my coach. It's like a 12-week challenge. I'm trying to get down like 20 pounds. And then, so we just did our check-in with like, how's it going with me? Yeah, full disclosure, my father-in-law died on Monday. That's what we just talked about too. So thank you. I just didn't want you to be like on this episode where we just talked about that and like the audience is like, he's not being a dick. He's not, just for context. And then I track all my food and he sees it and like he's like in my MyFitness app.
Let's talk.
And then you're a former athlete and so everything else safe for Wax. And then anything specific in your introduction? What's your podcast called again?
It's called You're an Idiot.
Two dumb fucking idiots.
Perfect where you guys are sitting. So
Oh yeah.
You wanna introduce me? Introduce?
Yeah, I'll do it.
You do it?
Yeah.
Hello.
keep going. Just
1, 2, 3.
Dragicevich?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2,
I think you
3.
give it a little bit more room. These are good mics, actually.
Okay,
right?
sweet. 1,
yeah,
2,
not,
3.
don't go too far. You're about the farthest you want to go.
Like four,
Yeah, how am
4
I doing?
inches.
like 6 inches max.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I can adjust
On a
this.
good day.
Yeah, funny.
Sweet.
Yes.
Hang on 1 sec. Let me just find my.
It's like somebody says 6 inches and everybody's like, quick, make a dick joke.
We know.
Hurry.
We are going on the main cam still, so whenever you guys want to jump back in, I never stopped recording. So.
All right.
All right, hell yeah. So we are back with our guest today.
Hello.
He's very hilarious. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. The host of the You're an Idiot podcast with Jeffrey
Yes.
Asmuth. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Dragicevich, everybody. Wow, 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 wow.
Wow.
A round of applause. That's
And,
cool.
That's
very nice of you guys.
A guy I've had a personal online
Yes.
vendetta against
Yes.
for
Yeah,
Vendetta
I
or
thought-
crush? I think
was gonna
that
say
you-
friendship.
Oh, friendship, yeah.
But no, apparently not. It was vendetta.
Because my wife used to be like, "Oh, I'm friends with that person online," and she was like good at Twitter, so she was friends with like
Oh, cool.
cool like people, back in 2015.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, "What do you mean friends online?" And then now, because I like respond to your shit,
Yeah, yeah.
both played basketball, and
Yes.
this is the first time in the flesh we've met, though, right?
The only way comics should meet on a
Or
podcast.
before a show, like after 3 years of online bullshit. Oh, hey.
How you been, man? Cool. Yeah.
Now,
Where
did you
where getting up?
initiate the online relationship?
I think so.
I think I DM'd you though right after you added me. I remember. Yeah.
But I like your comedy.
Thanks, me too, yeah.
And then you throw up some nice little pollies, and I'm like, I'll vote on them. Little comment.
You have to just. I don't know. I get sucked into. Sometimes I'm pretty active on it. I don't know. It's so
Yeah.
lame, dude. But yeah,
Well, I was
I'm addicted.
off Twitter.
I'm fully addicted.
Yeah, I was off Twitter for like 2 full years, and this guy and several other comics that I
Because he's
group
the
text with, I was like, I'm getting off Twitter. They're like, ha ha ha. 2 years, cold turkey.
How's it feel?
No, but this last 2 weeks of my father-in-law getting sick, like for some reason I got sucked back in. And now I'm back in. And my wife was
Yeah.
like, get back off. Get off.
Yeah.
You're the exact wrong person for Twitter because you become emotionally invested in the drama and the conflict,
Yeah.
and then you let it affect your mental state. Like it makes you want to fight.
I wish I could be just like a normal dude who also has. Like, I wish I could just like tweet shit like hoagies aren't that good, and like and that would just be like my presence,
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like they don't need you don't need
Well,
all of them.
I work with boring corporate people, and they just use Twitter as like for the news to
Yeah.
fucking find out about. Like they don't go on there to like spread hate.
Oh, yeah.
Like, half of comedy.
Starbucks cutting their dividend.
Yeah, it's just like it's a great relationship to have. With I know a lot of people who have deleted it though, and they seem it's like
I saw this tweet the other day that was like, Twitter, if you have throw pillows, you're part of the bourgeoisie, class. And then it's like real life. Hey man, how you doing? Like that is it. Like, and what I've seen is comics
Sure.
get it in their head and they get on stage and they go, "What do you think of Scarlett Johansson?" And the audience goes,
oh yeah.
"What are you talking
We
about?"
don't even think about her.
Yeah,
Like,
you're like, well, everybody's mad that she's playing an Asian, and you go, "That's nobody's mad."
Totally. Yeah, you can. Yeah, those comics. It's a very. You find out so quickly those jokes don't do anything. Nobody really has. Nobody cares that much about that stuff. So yeah, it doesn't really work.
Well, speaking about mental models that may or may not be real, Noah thinks that you're the better version of him in every single way.
Yeah, you're younger. You played at a higher level. You're doing better in comedy based on
Taller.
feature dates. This is how I compare. I go, this guy features a lot. Fuck him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's got a good 20. It's, yeah. I don't know, man. I mean. Well, what did you average at Princeton?
Like 10. I have 2 years of 10.
Yeah, my best year was 7 at Notre Dame.
Oh, he's back, baby. He's back.
Yeah, I averaged 7 and 5. 7 at Notre Dame my sophomore year, then 5 at BC my junior. So like
Now, did you
wasn't that great.
love basketball? Was it your whole life, or
Totally.
were you? Oh,
Totally.
okay,
Yeah.
And now,
100%.
are you divorced of it, or you still love it? Do you still play?
I can't play like it is an interesting relation. I actually been meaning to ask you this for a long time now, but it's like, my body can't hold up. I think that because what are you 6'4"? Are you
6'7"?
You're 6'7". Oh, wait, I actually haven't even seen you stand up. So it's like,
Or see me naked yet?
so how is your?
We'll do
can
that.
you, how does your body hold up when you? Because
It
I
does.
can,
interesting
I can
story.
barely,
Fucking shell of
dude. I
himself.
can barely
Yeah.
jog. Like I'm
Yeah.
I'm back on the treadmill now. The last like 2 or 3 months, and I'm doing
Yeah.
like 30, 35 minutes. Like I'll run.
Yeah.
Only like maybe 3 or 4 miles, like walk. It's like I just want to get back to a place where I can get on the court a couple times a week. Because
Yeah.
people ask me now, like, do you want to play? And I'm just like, I want to, but dude, if like
Because
if
why?
I
Because you get injured, or you just feel like shit. You just feel
get injured, I legitimately
Yeah.
like I can't. Because if I can't, I would rather jog 3 days a week.
Yeah.
Than have to like play
once and be in pain
and then
for 6
and then
days straight.
and then like not have to. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I would. To me, the give and take with basketball now is like, well, my knee. Like, what if something actually happened? And then I'm out
Well,
for like 2 or 3 months.
Is it because you guys go so hard? Can you like just like?
I think that's
chill?
what I think. It's a height thing.
Yeah, well,
I think
it's height and mileage. It's overall. We've played 40,000 hours of basketball.
Oh yeah.
Schmucko McGee has played like
That's a really good
5,000
point.
total because they play every Saturday.
I also think
right?
at 6'7", you reach a point where it's like it's good to be 6'7" and like literally until you're 30.
Yeah.
and then it's like the worst.
Are you
It's like-
30?
I'm 31,
Okay.
and it's like. I don't know, man. It's like I don't know. They say tall people die early. I think it's just
Big
because
time.
we want to. Like we take ourselves out pretty much.
Wait,
Like it's-
Ryan Foster, who's also a tall comic, has a great joke about this, about how the 6'7" guys are like the Great Danes of
Yeah.
of people, and it's such a good tall joke, and I have no
Yeah.
tall jokes. And the other great tall joke is Gary Gulman,
What is he say?
who goes, people always have a follow up question: how tall are you? 6'7". What's shoe size do you wear? He goes, what are you doing, a project? And I've had like 2.5 tall jokes that ever really work.
Yeah, dude. No, but it's really like it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
like it's just because
Bad on planes.
Totally, yeah. But it's like you're obviously you're working out, you're running all the time.
Not running.
You don't run,
No, I used to run a lot.
so I guess it's everyone.
This
It's everyone.
his philosophy, if I might summarize, is get great sleep, eat a certain amount of calories, hit a certain amount of protein, lift
Lift heavy.
weights, and
Lift.
that's it. And then if you
Lifting.
want to do some cardio,
Great.
So
I'm not
if you
doing any cardio.
Cardio is not the answer for you.
Cardio is not the answer. It's all about locking in your diet.
Because this is something that's been happening to me. Is like I'm trying to like maintain a certain weight, and I feel like when I am
you had
healthier,
to be heavier when you played.
a little bit, yeah,
muscle wise, right?
Yeah, but I was
But he's
also
super
but I was
fucking long,
but I was
though.
also like on the perimeter a lot. Like
Okay,
so like
yeah.
I had to be lighter.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
Serbian, so like we're fat by like nature. It's like very so like when I
So you
got
have to survival.
yeah, like when I got to BC, or actually first, like when I was at Notre Dame, like I was an 18-year-old freshman. They were like, we have to like cut you down. You have to get thinner.
Oh, really?
I was an
Wow.
18-year-old
Okay.
kid on like a weight, but I was only like I was probably 220,
Yeah.
6'6", 220. But they were like, if you're gonna play
Yeah.
on it's like you got to get down to like 205.
Were you a 4 or a 5?
I was a 3. I was
You
a
were a
2.
3?
I played when our point guard was ever in show. He probably played 35 minutes a night. There was my sophomore year. There was 5 minutes a game where I was playing point for us because
Wow.
he was.
Oh wow,
our-
I've
our-
misjudged you so hard.
No, I was like
based on nothing, just how you look. I was like, he's a 4-man. He's got a 17-footer. That's it. You're probably bringing it up.
I was like bringing it up. Yeah, it's like, dude, in the tournament, we were playing Xavier. He had 3 fouls in the first 10 minutes. I'm like playing point like in the tournament. I'm just like I'm like literally like slowly backing up a guy. Like it's just like it wasn't like I wasn't a point guard, but yeah, like to play on the I was you had to be like a little thinner. So I've had like kind of slight weight issues, I guess like my whole life anyway. But now my knee's feeling better. I had some like knee shit last summer. Now my knee's feeling better, and I'm trying to run again. And I feel like when I'm running, I'm not losing weight. Like when I was like just like purely fasting and shit. It's such bullshit,
It's all
dude.
diet.
It's all diet.
What about your relationship to drinking? Do you drink a lot?
Totally.
Also,
totally.
you do your little jokes about
You look
dating.
fantastic.
Yeah. I'm
You look
always
fantastic
at the
for a
bar,
guy that
hanging
drinks a
out.
lot
Sorry?
and doesn't watch what he eats. Like, you're doing great. You look great.
Thanks, man. I don't, but like you just want to. But I feel like you never can let go of like what you were like in college in some ways. You know,
Yes,
so you
correct.
always
Yeah.
want to be close to that. So it's like if I had a 6-pack for 8 years. And then now I don't. It's like I'm a fat person. You know, that's kind of like.
And then here's what you'll get to if you're like me. I'll see a video of myself from when I was 33. When I know at the time I go, I hate myself, I'm fat. I go, God damn, I looked good.
Yeah.
So I don't ever get to enjoy it. So like,
I know. Yeah.
when I'm 50, I'll look back at this and go, what the fuck? You should have just been skipping
dude,
down the block.
How about strength, dude? My junior year, I benched 290.
What the
One time. That was like my
With
max.
those fucking arms
Wow.
out.
Yeah,
I wasn't.
Yo.
I
Wait,
was.
go like this real quick.
My
I'm
man.
thin. No, dude. Now
And
I can.
and you're 6'7".
I tried doing 20 push-ups today. I got to like 16, and I just
You're
passed
very
out.
long.
Bro, but that
You're
is
very
like-
long
No,
now.
I can't do. I bet I could. I bet I couldn't bench. I bet I could bench 135 once now, maybe
Shut up,
twice.
shut
Nah,
up.
I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 times.
If
Wow.
you could
You know what I'm
pull
saying? Like I'm
290.
like I'm weak now. I need to get back. I don't lift. I've just been trying to do like cardio, and I want to get back to playing basketball. I'll worry about like strength like later, but that's pretty much what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
And it's but the problem is with the cardio is you run for 30 minutes and then you just feel like you can fucking eat anything, right?
Yeah.
You're just. And
Yeah.
that's not how it goes at
And
all.
it makes you hungrier.
You're
Yeah.
so
Doesn't it?
fucking
Yeah.
hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
Well, I mean, nothing makes me hungrier than heavy lifting. Like after deadlift day, I will like eat a lot that day, and then the next day it's a real struggle to stay on track. But I mean, everything kind of makes you hungry, especially like when you're like you guys are bigger guys. You have bigger caloric demands.
Is it a calorie deficit? Is that pretty much what it is if you want to stay trim? Like, is that pretty much the meat
Well,
and
you don't have
potatoes
to
of
stay
it?
at a calorie deficit, but you have to eat at a calorie deficit to get to a weight that you're comfortable at, and then you eat at maintenance. So for you, you're a big guy, 6'6", like 220, you'd be very lean at 220, but you could probably eat like 3,300 calories a day.
Yeah.
That's a lot
Yeah,
of calories.
It's
That
like
is a lot.
so much. And now that I'm tracking it, it's like 3,000 is actually easy.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
was the big? Were you just like what were
He
you
was eating
what were
fucking
you
2
fucking
ribeyes a night.
Well, my my healthy meal was like, well, this is steak, and I'd eat literally like 1,500 to 1,800 calories of that's just one meal of just steak.
Oh yeah.
Plus a salad. So like I was easily throwing down like 5,000 calories on a regular day, just like
Yeah.
not tracking. But then my bad days when I knew I was being bad,
Yeah.
you're looking at 9, 10.
10.
Yeah.
You drink 15 Bud Lights. You have
Yeah.
30 wings.
Ice cream, pizza.
Any like just like a normal Sunday in New York
Sure.
City, you
Yeah.
can get to 9,000 calories. Like
Yeah, and those I feel like those calories, those can last till you. It's hard to get like.
get back on track because then you're
yeah.
hungover and you're going.
Yeah, and
bacon, egg, and cheese.
and then the next day you feel like shit. Isn't that what's crazy is, and I don't know what the explanation is for it, but like when you eat a fuck ton like the night before, for some reason your body's hungry at like 10 a.m. the night, like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
hungrier than you've ever been.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so odd.
Yeah.
Is there any reason for that?
I think it's your blood sugar crashing, and then it just wants to go back up.
Wow, you do have a fucking answer for everything.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's all true, but like
No,
I
that's a
kind of
good
live
point,
it.
though.
Yeah.
yeah. It's so hard, man.
You know what
It's
the
so hard.
bodybuilders do when they're cutting is like they'll like make themselves miserable. So they'll eat carnivore. So they're just eating
Yeah.
protein and drinking water all day.
Yeah.
And then to go to sleep, they'll eat like a half cup of ice cream at night because the insulin spike sends you right back down to have the
Yeah.
deepest fucking sleep of your entire
Whoa.
life. That's what I want. So I'm gonna go 4 more pounds on this bulk, and then my cut. I want to just try
Carnivore
that
and
out.
ice cream.
Because
Yeah.
I want to sleep so hard. My son has been like fucking crying every night. Like I want to
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
get dead sleep.
Was your strength coach at Princeton a like an Olympic guy?
Yeah, no, so
Because we had like that's what we
Yeah.
had like a meathead who was like,
well, we had a meathead, but he was a linebacker on the Penn State undefeated team.
oh my god,
And he would just be like, "All right, Savage, put on put on a fucking 200-pound sandbag,
Yeah.
and you're just gonna do lunges down the fucking hall." Like we just did a lot of circuit,
yeah,
like basically like very heavy lifting, but with no rest. Like it was almost like
Really?
CrossFit.
Insane.
Oh, so yeah, but
And then
no.
some days it would be classic strength.
But
like
your
bench.
joints were getting fucked up.
Yeah.
They were not getting fucked up.
It's the exact
I don't
opposite thing
know
that
how
big
you-
boys
Like
should be
there was
doing.
like our BC strength coach, he fucked up one of our centers' knees like for a long
By
time.
doing Olympic stuff.
Yeah, because he was putting 250 pounds on the 7-footer's back.
Yeah.
He couldn't play for 2 years because his knees were like so.
Yeah.
And it's like he was like making him like he's like get lower, and it's like this 7-footer should
Yeah.
not be putting.
Well, squats and deadlifts are very controversial for tall
Big
guys.
Yeah, and it's like the guy's
Even
7
tall
feet tall.
bodybuilders go, I don't want to do squats. They just do like leg extensions because you get a lot more.
so much pressure on the joint because the leg is
Yeah.
longer.
But we did we did like a lot of circuits as I remember.
Full body
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah.
There's a because that was the same. The guy was a little different at Notre Dame, but like same thing. These basketball strength coaches they're basically their guideline is like trying to make you like a football player sometimes, and it's the most fucked up.
All
Yeah.
they should be
Thing.
doing is getting you really good core,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
some very basic benching and pulling,
yeah,
and then just running your ass off. Because
definitely, yeah,
I'm sure you played in runs with like NBA guys,
yeah,
and it was just like they're just never tired. They're not even like that much better than me.
yeah.
They're just so elitely in shape
Yes.
that they're like minute 1 of the game and hour 2 same exact guy. Like they
definitely
just don't sweat.
Damn, that's a really good point.
Mike, did they make you squat when you played football?
Yeah, it was brutal. It was all squats, deadlifts, fucking
Both weeks?
And you have to
Harder.
work twice as hard as
Clinches,
the average
the whole-
football player because you're so fucking tall.
Yeah.
Fucking
And then
A.
the second you get hurt, you're a pussy. You know,
Yeah.
and so then now you work through injury, and then the injuries just are exponentially
yeah,
worse.
you're probably putting a
Yeah.
shit ton of weight on your back. What
Yeah.
were you squatting?
I was 5.
Yeah, yeah.
5 and change.
Your knees are
My knees are completely fucked.
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
They're
for sure.
toast. Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
So
I blacked
now-
out once on a 3 a day, and then as soon as they woke me up, they were like, "Get to running." They was like they didn't give a
Jesus.
fuck, dude. Yeah.
That's brutal.
So now you talked about a little bit like, let's talk about what are you doing for your wellness right now?
He's running.
Are you just banging chicks left and right and slurping down Miller Lights and
I
waking
didn't
up? in
realize
a-
that he has this fantasy of you in his head. This guy's killing.
I
He's
really,
better than
I
me.
really am just like I'll eat like a salad at like I'd say like I eat a salad
Wait,
at
do
like
you have a day
2
job?
every day. Yeah, I have a day
So
job. That's remote.
desk. Oh, remote.
It's
okay.
remote.
Got
So
it.
I get a salad at like 2 or 3, and then I have a coffee at 10, a salad at 2, and I have something maybe near the show or around the show that's like around like 7 or 8. I try to keep it simple, like maybe a sandwich or a soup or something. I eat like a bird, dude, a lot. I really do. I'm
I
like
think you're under eating.
I'm
You're
so-
slowing your
and,
shit
and I
down.
think that's why it's fucking like my body, because when I try to work out, my nutrients are so I don't have them.
maybe you'll be season 2 hanging from the bar.
I would
We'll get you all jacked and shit,
I would
man.
like to,
yeah.
because I think that's my problem is like I feel like I've gone down the paths of like intermittent fasting. I thought that was kind of cool, and then like it kind of worked, like that
does.
shit where I'm like, oh, like I look good, but I looked good, but I definitely don't feel good.
Yeah.
And I can't fucking work out when I'm intermittent fasting like
Can I
that.
say something about it? Because I have a lot of people asking me. I'm
Yes.
working with an executive right now who is fucking. He works 17 hours a day, and he's just like, "Can I do IF? I'll make my feeding window from 2 to 10." This guy works from 6:30 in the morning until 1:30 at night, every single
my
fucking
God.
day. And here's the thing about intermittent fasting: if it works for whatever works for you, go for it. But it is an eating disorder. It's like absolutely,
Can I
positively an
say
eating disorder
a
because
quick
nobody
question?
sticks with it forever, and it fucks up your metabolism.
How much money does he make? Because
He's,
Yeah,
I
that's-
think
that's
he's
gotta
got 7 figures now,
Okay.
and he's looking to try and be a 9-figure
All right.
boy in 5 years.
well, seven's enough to get me to do that for like a month.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Everybody who's intermittent fasting, like they can make it 3 weeks, and then they go on binge mode, and that like just fucks
Yeah.
with your body so much because you set your body on a schedule. And then you're opening up the floodgates, and your body's going to be like, okay, we're not in starvation mode anymore. We've got all these calories. We got to hold on to these.
Yeah.
So then you get fatter by breaking your fast, and it's just like, why don't everybody just
Yeah.
track your calories and eat normal meals?
I know. Don't
Don't cut out
and-
food
and you
groups.
keep
Eat ice
your-
cream. Just eat a
You
normal
keep
amount.
your hunger at a normal amount too.
Yes.
When I would do an IF, it was like, all right, finally it's 10 a.m. and I'd be
Yeah.
like, "Ugh." And now it's like I try to just never get to the starving point because that's when you make like horrible decisions to just crush
Yeah.
whatever's
yeah,
around.
I know. It's still something that like that. If I want to get back into working out, it's got to be. I can't just be like having a salad a day and then
So
like
did
nothing
you
else.
play
though, bro.
post college or what did you do? You just
No,
moved to Chicago?
my trainer in Chicago was like, I got to work out for you with like these agents or whatever to go to Europe. And
Yeah.
I was like, I just don't think I'm gonna. I had no interest in it.
did.
You know. Did you play overseas?
Yeah,
Where'd you play?
I did 1 year in Switzerland.
How was it?
It was all right. I learned a lot of Italian. It was kind of boring, honestly.
Yeah.
I had a
Yeah.
girlfriend in the States, so that was a mistake. I kind of like had one foot
Are
back in
Swiss
the
girls
States.
hot?
Yeah.
Do they look like the
Yeah,
hot
yeah.
chocolate lady?
Yeah. They're all like blonde. No, there was actually like a lot of like college. There was this loser college over there, and there was a lot of Americans there.
Oh, that's cool.
And then there was a girl who came up to me and was like, "I will do whatever you like." And then I was like, "Well, I have a girlfriend at home. Like I can." And then she came up to me later and was like, "You are not a man." And then my teammates just thought it was the best thing they'd ever heard. They'd always be like, "You're not a man."
Oh wow.
oh wow.
Yeah, that's her.
It's the first image, first result when I Google image search Swiss girls.
Oh wow.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Not
but it
bad.
was just more like I was just bored and I was on Skype all the time with my girlfriend and like watching like, you watch so much internet when you're
That's what I
over there,
heard,
you just
yeah.
like become addicted to like, you're basically Netflix and then like 1 hour practice and then whatever. But my point is that I'm trying to take you from D1 athlete.
Yeah.
Now you're an adult.
Yeah, I got
So-
right. I got right into stand up pretty much. Yeah, like July.
But your relationship to exercise.
Yes.
You were forced to exercise like me, 6
Totally.
hours a day.
Yeah.
And then you're just some dude. I relished it. I was like, I'm not doing shit for a year.
Yeah.
That first year I was done playing, I probably put on 20.
So
That immediate-
no, good.
Yeah.
That's a good like point too. Is like so right when the season ended my senior year, I had it was my 5th year and I didn't have like anything to do. I didn't BC put me in this like they do this with a lot of athletes. It's called an unclassified grad student. I had a 2.9 because I'm very stupid. So I didn't qualify for business school and to get like their 1 year MBA program or whatever. And so it's called unclassified grad student. So that you're basically on scholarship and they put you in of whatever classes you kind of want to do. So it was my 5th year. We played it out, and I didn't like. I wasn't like in class for anything. So I was like, I'm not going to class, and I didn't. From March 15th, I didn't go to class.
We have so much in common.
But yeah,
incredible.
But I was just like, so I was just like not going to class, but I was on my scholarship. So I was getting these checks every month, and I was just living on campus, and I gained 20 pounds. I went from 205 to 225 in 3 months. And it was like the best 3 months of my life, because it's like it's like I'm a 5th year. I know everyone.
You're like Van Wilder at that point.
It
You're like
was
good,
like
good at like. I became really good at like being in college socially.
totally
Awesome at partying. I just was good at it.
Dude, it was so fun.
Yeah.
And then I came home and my mom was like, "You're fucking fat. Like like, you look like shit." And a couple of my friends were like, do you know that look when your friend's like, "Oh, dude," like you're like, "Hey," they're like, "Hey, oh shit," and you're like, "What do you mean, oh shit?" You
I had
know?
a friend who was a girl. She put me like it was a house party at my house as like a 24-year-old. She pushed me against the wall and goes, "Don't get really fat because you think it's funny." Because I kind of was doing that. I was like, I don't give a fuck.
No, dude, it's a real my friend, my Notre Dame teammate came out to visit me at Boston, and he said this was like in May, and he's like, "You gained a little weight, man." And I was just like,
Yeah.
and at that time it's like, I don't know, 20 pounds is like that's a lot, so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just yes. And then that's when this is probably this is like 7 years ago, where I was just like, then I found the intermittent fasting stuff. But at that time I think I had enough muscle to like like built on where I could
hold on to muscle for a while.
and I was running, I was dieting, and I was 23, 24, and I just fucking looked awesome. And and that's the problem I think now is that like I don't have the muscle to
No lifting now.
I don't really lift, dude.
Now
no.
you're doing. What do you spend your time writing jokes and being successful at comedy?
I'm just trying
Featuring?
I'm trying to yeah, dude. But no, I'm trying to like I try to write, I try to go up, and then I literally try to run 3 or 4 days a week.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. Jog pretty much. And that's pretty much my regimen. And then I try to eat pretty fucking clean throughout the week. Like it's like I'll stay away from carbs most of the week.
Yeah.
And
fuck
but
all
I
that.
think that's hurting me. Like I don't
you
think
need to eat carbs.
because I don't think because what I want to be, what I would like ideal is like I want to run like 5-6 miles a day.
You can do it.
And be really and basically live how I want to live after that, you know. But I don't think I have the muscles
work you up into
anymore.
a baseline of like muscular. First of all, get you eating again. Work you up to like a baseline of just like normal fitness to where you feel energized, you feel good. We wouldn't do heavy squatting or anything. Like maybe a little leg press.
Yeah.
All machines.
Yeah.
Just get you feeling good. 8 to 12 rep. Get into a hypertrophy state, right? So you put on a little bit of muscle. And then once you're at an area you're comfortable with, you're eating your maintenance calories. You can run 5-6 fucking miles a day and eat your ice cream and call it a day.
And that's the problem. And that's what I think that's what was happening is I was having like when I started running again, I was having this like side knee pain that was like I'm pretty sure it was like because like my fucking ass wasn't strong enough, my glutes weren't strong enough, my hamstrings.
I have that right now.
What's it called? What's it called again? It's
Piriformis prima donnis.
IT band.
Idial band something.
Iliotibial band. It's the band that runs from the side of your hip to the inside.
Dude, that
of your
will
knee.
fucking that had me out for like 3 or 4 months, dude. Because you can't walk after that for a while.
So I ran 7 miles a day without stretching. This is my permanent hip mobility, right? I have nothing.
Oh my God.
On both sides?
On both sides. So this affects everything that I do.
So
When
I got one that's
squat-
way better than the other one.
My left is definitely worse than my right. I have to go like all day at work.
How do you
like this.
monitor the IT stuff? Because that's what's really fucking me right now.
It's tough, bro. I mean, a lot of it. So when you're that tight, it's weakness in a. It's overcompensation on one side because you're weak on another.
Yeah, because I'm weak back here.
So it's like usually your glute is weak, and you might have like a portion of your hip that's weak, and you can only do that by lifting like leg press, squat, some sort of motion where you're getting your quad a little bit more built up, and your glute. So it's fucking tough.
I know, man.
Getting old. Should we do a clip?
Let's do a fucking clip, dude.
All right, it should have played up there, but we're actually gonna pretend it's gonna play up there. Right? Is that what we do, Mike?
It'll blast up in post.
Yeah. So should I put this over here so we're all looking that way, or does it matter?
Doesn't matter.
What should we start with?
Um,
Hold on. I went all the way to the beginning again. This one?
Yeah, this guy's pretty tight.
Oh wow.
I do not live my life very focused. If I'm not taking care of my health, working on building more money,
Look at the striation.
I love this guy.
Living a sick life, progressing, I will fall and I will feel depressed. Eat like shit. You're not taking care of yourself. You watch 4 hours of sports every single day. This is going to make you depressed, and it should make you depressed. If you're not depressed, something is wrong with you.
Okay.
Yeah, that
He's
guy's
doing
hot
an
though.
Andrew Tate thing.
He's hot.
Is that
But
you?
he is fucking hot, dude.
If I could be that guy, I would be that guy.
Yeah, talking to girls with their asses out by the pool, getting shredded.
I think he's another rich kid. He's like a your boy, Chet Hanks type.
Nah, nobody's like Chet
I
Hanks.
dug-
Chet Hanks is an American
I
original.
dug in on that guy one time, and they were like, he doesn't do anything that he says in his program, and like this house is rented, and he's nobody.
I love this mobility guy that you sent.
guy?
No, Rishi.
This guy?
Yeah.
I don't even remember sending these. I'm sorry. These are really random, and also
No.
we might have a big reaction to it or none at all. Really, I don't know what.
I'm I
You're
just
just here
saw
for the
you
ride?
showed me a hot guy. I'm like, that's a hot guy.
The guy by these rules. I would just be doing
I have
that.
no notes for that guy.
Okay, so this
Bro,
is
I would like to make mobility content. Like, teaching you guys about injury prevention is way more rewarding to me than teaching you guys about hypertrophy, but the reality is we have an epidemic of kids that can leg press 8 plates, but can't squat 225 ass to grass with a pause for like 8 reps without a belt. And then they'll ask me, like, my hips hurt. My low back and knees hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Stretches you recommend? There's none.
Whoa.
You can't outstretch the fact that you're weak. You can't outstretch the fact that
That's
you
where
have no
I'm at.
coordination.
Yeah.
Your
That's me.
bodybuilding
Yeah.
I am weak now, dude.
Yeah.
It's 100% true.
Your bodybuilding career is going to be cut short because of an aggressive wind on a breezy Thursday in fucking July.
All right. It was good until he's trying to be
but
funny.
that is the actual point, which is like if you are experiencing insane tightness or discomfort in one area, it's because you have weakness in another corresponding area. Now, it gets really hard to figure out where in
Yeah,
the hips. And I'm not a physical therapist, so I don't always know. But I know for me, it's a weak glute medius that has fucked up my hip,
Yeah.
and I just got to work through
Have
it.
you been running with your IT shit?
You tore
No,
his
so
Achilles.
I tore my Achilles last spring because to answer your
Yeah,
initial
dude.
question,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
I was playing like 2 times a week for like 12 years
Oh my God.
on like a team, and then I have a run that you could play in Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. That's like everybody played in college.
Some
It's really
better
good.
players, yeah.
And then I just tore it like during a men's league game last May, and I still
my
can't even
God.
like do a leg calf raise with this leg. So it
It's
might
crazy.
be game over. It might be just
You
really
know.
slow.
Yeah, and that's what, again, not to be like, that is kind of like my biggest fear though, is like
Yeah.
getting in a run and
Yeah,
just
sucks.
like trying to like do a spin move or something like that, and
Yep.
just like then my quad like fucking rips up,
Yeah.
and you're like, because dude, if I couldn't do, in terms of like my mental health, man, if I couldn't do cardio for 2 or 3 months straight, or
Yeah.
3 or 4 months straight, I would really go ballistic.
Is that what the running is for you? Because you're very
It's
much
all-
onto
it's-
the running.
It's all
health
mental.
stuff?
It's all meant. Yeah, like if I
Yeah.
can't,
music.
definitely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like if I can't like get my heart rate going up, like I will freak out. Like I need to be like,
You'd find something else.
I need to sweat. I
Does
need
your
to.
this is a serious question. Sounds like I'm fucking with you, but does the heart rate go up with stand up still, or are you just up there? Fucking,
oh, I love
you're-
it. Yeah, totally.
But before, same question to you.
Wait, no, yeah. When I would do, like our show at Littlefield, it's tight because I would wear the whoop.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'd get on stage and it would say, like it couldn't identify the activity that I was doing, but I would watch my heart rate go from like baseline is like 50s, 60s. It would be up at around 110, 120.
Whoa,
And you
yeah.
could see the times that, like if I was hosting, you could see that it was up there for the first 10, 13 minutes while I'm up
Yeah.
there starting the show. And then I go off stage, chill. Then I go up, when I go up again to do a little joke, you can watch it.
Oh,
like
wow,
stand up,
that's
it
sick.
definitely elevates you.
That's like a running level of cardio, right?
I
there.
think, yeah, I do think you get a little bit more once you're more comfortable up there. You have a little bit of a different approach. You're kind of like, it's like you're trying to like hit your marks in a way.
Yeah.
I found this is such a weird parallel. I found stand up to be a lot like when I was watching figure skating, and I was watching how they were like they're trying to like hit their spins. You know, I'm like
Yeah.
that's kind of how it feels like when you do a setup and like you hit a joke and you hit a punchline. You're just like they know what they're gonna say.
Yeah.
They know what they're gonna do. So they're in the so like when you're in your head kind of going through your routine, you're not as much like worried about how the audience, especially when you're going over new material, you're not as
Yeah.
much worried about anymore like what the audience thinks
Yeah.
or if they even think you're funny. You're just like as long as I'm doing this joke the way I want to do it,
I never
that's what
got
you're
there.
focused on.
I everything is like how the audience feels about me right now, and that's why I can't tell jokes anymore.
Yeah.
Like I can't fucking
I've been in both
I
places.
need
I
the
think.
immediacy of their love at
Yeah,
all
yeah.
times, and they can feel it. They can smell it on me. Sometimes they're generous with it, but
Yeah.
most of the time they're take it or leave it, and I'm be like, I can't do it.
Yeah, that's the most awful part of it is that you can only the more new stuff you try, the better you really will be. But then it's like for a whole week you might be bad for like 80% of that week.
Yeah.
And you're like, am I bad at this?
And will I
You
ever
know?
get booked again? Yeah.
No, it's really like it's a total like mind fuck,
It's
man.
insane.
You know? But you have to it's so brutal.
I think this is. Did I send this to you? This might be nothing. This might be literally.
I like this guy too.
Oh no, this guy
This
rules.
is Menser.
4 times
Menser
a week, 2
rules.
hours a week.
That's all you
Menser
need.
fucking
Didn't
gets
you
after.
didn't you do the stash for a bit?
Yeah, I did.
It does require hours and hours to look
Well,
like that.
The mistaken premise there is that more is better. And the body doesn't necessarily work that way. If 2 hours or 4 hours a day were
Look at
good
that
work,
bod.
why not
Look
train
at
12
that dick
hours a
going
day?
left.
Good dick too.
Training
Yeah.
is a form of stress, and up to a certain point in time,
One of the rare good
exposing
bodybuilding
the body
dicks on this
to
guy.
stress can be beneficial.
Not a lot of
Beyond
great
a definite
bodybuilding
period of time,
cock out
it
there.
can
Imagine
actually be
before the
detrimental.
roids. The thing
Oh
was
my
popping
God.
out. I do like these and like a lot of these things we have on here. he's like, you only need to train 40 minutes 3 times a week. If you're doing a shitload of steroids, like,
yeah.
steroids does all the work.
Yeah.
I still want to take roids. I want to do it.
You want to try it?
Yeah.
Wait. What is your regimen now? I don't think we got to that yet.
I get 3,000 calories a day. I get 300 grams of protein.
Damn.
And then
That's a lot.
300 grams of
it's
protein.
hard to get there.
Yeah.
It's hard to get there. I have to.
Whoa.
It's exhausting to eat that much, but that's the idea, is that he gets worn out on the way of eating nutritious stuff.
I got to do 2 shakes a day to hit the 300, and
Totally.
or like hit these foods that are like ground, chicken
eat,
meat
like-
that are so lean that you can eat like 300 calories and it's like 80 grams of protein.
Oh wow.
So
yeah.
I pretty much am like, throughout the day, I'm like, how do I get my 300? I gotta like get them in.
Yeah.
I add egg whites to a lot of shit.
Yeah, I saw Zac Efron said that he like this was on some TikTok thing. He said to prepare for some role when he bulked up, he pureed, he like made
Chicken,
chicken
yeah.
as smoothie.
It's too hard to
He
chew. A lot of people do that.
He had a grilled chicken smoothie.
Yeah, it's disgusting. But
He's a fucking. But so one of my clients
just drink
was
whey protein,
in the
though.
wrestling movie that Zac Efron recently bulked up for.
Uh-huh.
He played Ric Flair, and Zac Efron is playing one of the Von Erichs.
Yeah.
And so he watched Zac Efron train, and he was just like, "This guy is fucking miserable."
The last time I got in really good shape, I did, and I know we're coming up to it. I see you over there, but I did the Zac Efron workout and became this like inside joke with my friends where it was like 10 minutes of sprinting work on a treadmill. Then it was a circuit of lifting. Then it was 10 minutes of sprinting work. Then a
This
circuit of
ain't it,
lifting.
fam.
You hate it?
Why? I was like in the conditioning before until I saw that like I don't have to work out. Like if I want to get in condition, I'll do conditioning.
Yeah.
But like to look how I want to look, which is the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm fine admitting that because like I'm not an athlete.
And
I just want to
sleeping-
fucking look.
sleeping and stress too.
So yeah. So you don't need to do it all that shit. You just need to track what you eat and lift heavy weights.
Yeah.
And like 8 to 12 for most of your accessory work, and then put in like sets of 5 by 5s for squat, deadlift, shoulder press, bench press. That's it.
You know what I started doing again? And to get back, so then I lift a couple times a week, and then I try to walk my 10,000 steps a day. But I got back into the unilateral shit.
Oh yeah, the one incline.
One's up,
yeah,
and then
that's
it's like
good.
because all this gets all there, and then like everything you do is kind of like a balance thing. So I started doing that again. But I love lifting, even when all this shit happened with my father-in-law.
It's the best.
I went to the gym twice during that week that I was like at the hospital. I was like, I want to go lift.
Yeah.
Fucking tossing weights around. And I'm like, I'm a meathead, man.
Dude, I think about that shit.
Also, when I first got to New York to start doing stand-up, there was a huge anti-jock thing, by the way.
Totally. Yeah.
Very alti, love wrestling. Half those guys ended up being sexual predators anyway.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny now because now the new thing is to pretend you like the NBA.
Yeah.
It used to be pretending to like WWF. So
no, it's even, dude. It's a very odd thing that's like gone. If you want to talk about like Twitter stuff, and it's almost like some type of like pseudo like branding thing. If you see like, you'll see like bands, like rock bands online, just be like they're super into like the Eagles and shit like that, like the Philadelphia Eagles. Like they're just like adopting this kind of like fanship as like part of
now
your.
It's cool again.
It's very odd for nerds liking sports now. It's very in vogue.
Yeah, and I think I was a little like, afraid to be myself because it was like, you're that big fucking guy,
Sure,
and I wanted to be like, yeah, but also I have feelings about my parents' divorce.
Yeah, totally.
Which
you get
is true
judged.
too. But I have no like. You have a great joke about playing in March Madness.
Yeah.
You were throwing on the clips last week.
Yeah,
it was great.
Thanks, man.
And I have like no jokes in 12 years of doing stand up about basketball.
I think.
How about that? That's fucked up.
That is crazy.
No. It's not because it's weirdly, dude. It's really like a hard thing to joke about in a lot of ways. If you think of because like when you're digging for when you're initially trying to write for it and like you're thinking about your interactions with people, like it's not a funny thing to talk, because people, you talk to people after.
It's unrelatable to the audience to be a D1 athlete.
You talk to people after college and they're like, so you played in college, and then you're like, yeah, and they're like, did you like get with a lot of girls, or and you're like, yeah, and then they're like, oh, like, did you get like a lot of gear, and you're like, yeah, like were your teachers like good to you, and you're like, yeah, and you're going, it's like none of this is funny, like no one thinks that's funny at all.
It's a little bit like getting on stage and being like, anyway, I used to be a bond trader.
There's like
$2 million a year, and like, where's everybody going?
Oh,
people
like
do that.
Man, like did you like get to like play like on
That's
TV?
what I always
like,
thought it was.
Yeah, and you're like, none of it's funny. So it's like the way to find it, I don't know. I stumble stumble upon a couple of things, but yeah, that's the crux of that joke is that like that was the best. That means I peaked. Like that was the best part of my life. So that's the only way you can make fun of it is by being like.
It sounds like bragging.
Right? Yeah, if you're or else it sounds like bragging.
Yeah.
And,
Mike, have you ever joked about football?
Not really, no. I mean, I have a lot of like height jokes. I'm 6'5", so I'm not as big as you, tall as you guys, but I have
you
some
were
height
gonna play
jokes.
for the Dogs, right?
I was until I got injured, and thank God.
Fucking
Best thing that ever happened to me was getting injured. Losing my shoulder and my knees at the same time. It was fantastic.
Yeah, how are you? How are like your knees and shoulder now? Like is
Shoulders
it all...
fine, knees are completely and utterly screwed. At any moment, if I take a step wrong, they're gone.
you know if it's raining outside, just like is
I
it
get
like
scared.
that shit?
Yeah, I get scared.
like your knee just tingles a little bit.
It's all. I'm literally one. Like if I step on a pebble and my knee goes out, it's gone. It's gone.
Yeah,
I'm just preparing for I'm preparing for it.
And this is the type of stuff where it's like I just like the idea of like being like in a crutch, like going to a show like in crutches or something like that, or like being like in like a sling or
I had
something.
the wheelie scooter for 8 weeks.
He had it at my wedding. It was amazing.
Oh, yeah, I did like multiple level wedding with that. But
it was amazing.
Yeah,
you just don't want to be doing
you had to,
that
like
shit.
crawl up and down the stairs.
Well, you know
my knees crackle. Do you guys get crackle knees?
Yeah.
If I like bend down and I
hips,
stand up, it sounds like I'm stepping on popcorn.
Yeah.
In my knees.
And both my hips click.
I've actually done it on stage once or twice where I don't know what I was talking about, and I would squat down, put the microphone to my knees, and then stand up, and it's like it's not funny. It's not funny. I'll never do it again. But it was like a huge like chorus of like how do you live like that? It's brutal.
Yeah.
That's true, man.
Anyway, I would appreciate that answer because I always was wondering how to talk about myself,
Sure.
but not sound like I was bragging.
Totally.
And the other thing that I think big guys have, and jacked guys, you got it too. You cool tattoos. I feel bad not talking to you. You don't have a mic.
Sorry, Tom.
I'm like, I don't know how to act around producers. Is that what was I saying? Big guys have it.
Big guys have it. Jack
Is that I go. Sometimes I want to tell other people. I want to be like, no. I think I'm a loser. Like but they put their own thing on you and go, look at this tall guy up there. His life fucking rules.
Yeah,
and it's like it's not like boo-hoo me, but it's like that is true. I'm like, well, I think I really hate myself. Like I want that to be, you know what I mean? Especially on stage.
And I think that's one thing that I never really got to figure out on stage, but it's like also people don't really understand that if you played in college or something like that, if you played at like a high level, ultimately you are faced with like a significant amount of failure. You're not going to be the player. Yes. You ultimately are not the player that you and a lot of people probably thought you were going to be.
I think it's tougher.
I think that as a college athlete, and I know that this might sound like odd, I do think that a lot of college athletes are faced with and like they counter a lot of more trauma than I think most people do at 20 years old.
And the other thing is, it's in public.
It's a public failure.
It's public. It's in the fucking paper, and it's in front of everybody.
Yeah,
and I think that actually sometimes parents will like stop me in terms of the current Princeton team and be like, "Oh, their kid doesn't play enough. What should I do?" And I'm like, nothing. The fucking falling on your face when it's actually not life or death, even though it feels like it is. It's the best thing.
Yeah,
it's what attracts us to stand up. Actually,
a lot of a lot of my career, actually, over 2 years of it, was being like 2 years of it. My freshman and my senior year, I didn't play. That's when we got a new coach, Coach Christian. But for 2 years, I was in and out of the starting lineup.
Yeah,
and those kinds of like that shit will fuck with your head in a way, because like, dude, like being a starter on like a Big East or an ACC team is like you're living that dream for 3 games, and then you're playing like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's like
dude, go back and forth on that is really it's something that like, and then all your friends are like acing their finance courses and like they're having the time of their lives, and you are literally dying inside.
So easy.
And nobody has any idea what that's like.
You know how easy Princeton was once basketball ended?
Yes, dude.
I was like, this is a joke. I was like, Goodwill Hunting. I was burning my paper. I was like,
yeah,
what is this for me?
Yeah, people.
But I'm not exhausted. Like,
they're like, people don't understand that kind of level of like mental fuckery that's going on, and but they do, but then they're like, oh man, it was great, and it's like it was great. It was very hard, and it is very rewarding.
it's
when
like
it goes.
having a kid. It's like every minute of it wasn't the greatest thing.
Sure.
But the sum of all the bad things and all the good things were actually really great.
Yeah.
And it's so similar to stand up because it's like without the fear of complete humiliation,
Totally.
the killing isn't good.
Yes.
But the killing and the killing on the court with the 20,000 fans is about the best you could ever be.
It really,
Until you kill on stage and you go, a little bit of that again.
When you hit a three like in front of a ton of there's nothing. There's truly
nothing on stage that has ever even come close.
I think I've had some kills that were amazing, but man, like I think just going off of like I'll say this, going off of like a pure like body high, the only thing, nothing's really we beat when I was at Notre Dame, we beat Syracuse when they're #1 at Notre Dame.
Fuck yeah.
And for some reason, the guy that I usually split time with, we would each go like 20 minutes, and like for some reason he just wasn't playing well. I played like 35 minutes that game, so I was out there the whole time, hit some shots, and it was like hit a few threes, and it was just like when we beat them by like 15, and they stormed the court, and there's nothing. I don't think anything maybe in my life will like compare to that.
And if you think that's good,
I'm getting chills just hearing it. I'm just like,
try beating Dartmouth. Like, if you think that's good,
the only time I've ever dunked on someone in a game was on Dartmouth.
Oh wow!
After like the guys.
What was his name?
I actually, I'll tell you after, because actually my buddy works with him now. But like
nice.
After, the guys in the locker room were like, do you know it doesn't count, dude? They were like, you dunked on Dartmouth, dude. I was like, all right, I don't know, but yeah, dude, it's a crazy. But when people say, when you get into stand up and people were like, what kind of they're like what could have happened to you to make you get into this? You're like, you have no idea.
Yes.
What I've been through. I don't know what you've been through, but for you to like just say like I've been through nothing.
Yeah.
If like half my town knows how good of a game I had if I went 1 for 8 on ESPN, you've never experienced that. Yeah. You have no idea what that's like. You have like, if like people, you know what I'm saying? It's like you've never had something.
It sounds like you and I are the guys who took the bad stuff really hard.
Sure, yeah.
There are players who are just like 1 for 12. That's because coach is hating. They don't. Same with the comics who can get off stage and bomb and go.
I think about like
that's a really good point, man. Yeah, because some people are like, oh, it's the coaches.
So I think it's the experience. It's also who you are.
But why coach like Russell Westbrook shooting the Lakers out of games in the middle of LA, his hometown? He's like, I'm still the greatest.
Making $53 million and then going, don't call me Westbrick. It hurts my feelings. Like,
yeah. Inversely though, that is what makes guys great. Though is like you've played with guys too who are just like they're not like dumb, but they play dumb. Like they don't even know. They don't. They're so confident. I could never experience. I could never have that, dude. Because if I went, let's say you might have had this too. It's like if you go 2 for 4, you're feeling good. But then when you hit 2 for 5, you're like, then you're 2 for 6, and you're like, oh no, you're 2 for 6
I went
too.
1 for 12 on ESPN2 at Wake Forest, and I made my first one.
Oh, dude.
Like, here it comes. Gonna have 20 on ESPN2. Pop. And it was just like brick. It was horrible. But
no, it's a real when when those go up, that your confidence is so, oh my God, it's
those
the worst.
Those are my favorite though. I love like a Josh Smith basketball player that's gonna shoot with no conscience no matter what. I love like a stand up that is going to bomb and kill within the same 10 minutes. I think it's the greatest thing. Like bomb harder than you've ever seen anybody do it, and then bring it right back and like by the end like destroy, and then maybe have like a weak closer. I think it's the most amazing thing in the world.
Totally. No,
because you're a connoisseur though.
I love a bomb. I love a bomb.
Do you know what was awesome at that? Because they're getting something out of it was Drew Michael.
Oh,
he would just like, he would not, he was a Chicago guy, so I kind of like
actively try and make people hate him.
He would be on stage for he would bomb for 20 minutes and not care.
Yeah.
That was the story of my life when I was DJing the Knitting Factory. So many guys just don't give a fuck about. Like Che would go up and bomb for a half hour at 12:30.
I love those
Sunday.
Chicago guys, man.
Yeah.
Those guys are awesome. But yeah, it's like Drew would go up, and I remember I think he said something like, like his like process or whatever, and it was just like about the audience, like, aren't you worried about the audience? And he goes, who the fuck are they? And it's like, that is the best, like, that's like, yeah, dude.
Yeah. It's definitely a good place to be.
That's such a
They're not doing what I'm doing. What I'm doing is
like,
fucking hard.
Yeah, it's like, who the fuck is 200 people in Denver? And you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. It's fantastic.
Right?
And that's the way, like, a lot of the best players I ever played with were just like, dude, in my mind, I'm like, you're killing it. And they're like, they hate their teammates, their coach, the other opposing players. They're just out there balling.
Another mark of a great player, a guy that doesn't do shit in practice, but just murders. Do you know what that was? When I played with Pat Connaughton, who's on the Bucks now.
Oh yeah.
Oh
And
really?
he
Not a good practice guy?
When we were in over the summer, I'm like, he came in. He was a year younger than me. He came in. I was like, this guy's all right. Like,
Were you shocked by his athleticism because
he was very athletic.
Yeah, he looks like
could
just
really,
a regular white
He could
guy.
really dunk, but like it wasn't translating to the court that well. And I was like, this guy's like pretty good. Like I think he'll help. Dude, like first game 20, like
Lights out.
5 for 6 from 3, like might have had 11 rebounds, and it's just like we'll practice all year. He'll go like you get your stats after practice. He'll just maybe hit a shot or two. I'm like, he's a gamer. And it's like, I could never, I couldn't even imagine that.
Nobody gives a fuck what you did in practice, honestly.
They're right.
And
they
nobody
don't care.
cares how good it sounded in your notebook. Just get up there and kill,
It's
man.
actually more manly. They say that like men, the difference between little boys and little girls is little girls do too much homework. They'll try and like do too much, and boys do like the least amount of. They try and get the biggest ROI possible. So it's like very masculine to be like, yeah, I do all right in practice, but when the game comes, I'm about that check.
The idea, and also it's bad. I don't know if it's great for your psyche too, because if you train so hard like all week, and then you're getting up shots after practice, you're getting extra work, and then when the game comes, then you have all this more pressure on you because you're like I put in all this time. Why would it not work out?
It's also just caring too much. You got to not give a fuck.
Yes.
But I think we got to wrap this up. You've been a fantastic guest. I feel like I made a new brother here.
Yes, dude, of
so
course.
much in common. Thanks for
Certainly.
coming. And we don't know what this is going to be, but hopefully I'll be ripped in another 6 weeks. And then maybe we can...
Arms look great.
Oh, thank you. I do be lifting the weights, baby. Look at this. Come on now.
Yes.
But you can maybe come back. You'd be our second season.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
You could be our experiment case.
Hell yeah. Next week, Alex Dragicevich, everybody. You're an Idiot podcast. Go download, subscribe. Make sure you check the link in our bio and subscribe to all of our shit. Have a great week.